Yo,
Hey, mate. How's it going?
how are you? Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Just a quick question, though. Can you hear a fire alarm going in the background at the moment for me?
Not at all.
No,
The mic
okay,
is doing a good job.
It's doing a great job, yeah. But it's
Yeah.
been going on for about 5-10 minutes now, just non-stop.
Perfect.
And the microphone is doing a really, really good job at the moment. So
Yeah, the mic is doing a good
Good.
job, so don't worry about that. But
yeah.
I'll pull up
Plenty
my
well
screen
spent.
here. Do you want to go over your charts first, kind of what you're thinking?
Yeah, sure.
And then I'll go over
just get it
mine.
up.
All right, perfect.
Okay, so first of all, yesterday, I was asleep at the time, but what on earth
I know.
was that?
I know.
I mean,
Dude, sometimes I'm
306
like-
reversal in how many minutes? You know what I mean? Like, it was crazy move up there, to be fair, but yeah, just expect the unexpected these days. But
Always.
yesterday was just one of those. I picked up a win yesterday on. I actually picked up on MES. So let me just go to the MES chart here. So this is what I was looking at yesterday, where basically NQ had already taken its low, its IB low. And then I was thinking, well, because NQ's taken its low, it's quite likely that MES will do the same. And then as soon as we got that bounce off the VWAP just there, that's why I went short at the IB 75 there for a nice little scalp. I actually got out before the IB low. Not usual for me. Usually I'll just let it run to the IB low. I think I was a little bit nervous because of how volatile these candles were. I was happy just to take my little piece of the pie really there from yesterday. But for today, let's just have a look at NQ. So I mean, we're just chopping up around the daily VWAP for me at the moment. When it comes to the inside bars, it's not printed. It won't print it just yet, will it? I'll print it in a minute. But for me, it's just the inside bars, but it won't show you, will it, until another 10 minutes, or at least the indicator won't anyway.
You can use the alternate reversal setup indicator. And then if you see the red,
look at that. There we go.
Yeah, there you go. You can also, if you want, I have them on, but you can put the labels, like if you go to the settings, if you just double click on the lines, go to inputs, and then you can turn on and off like the labels, so you can see, like, I changed it to say PDH, so previous day high, and then
look at that.
If you like it or not, you have the choice. But
no.
Yeah, for inside bars, I would recommend that.
Yeah, for sure. That's a good little one. Yeah, so for me at the moment, you know, we've built a bit of a base here, haven't we, from yesterday with these lows forming here at the bottom. I'll tell you what, how many ICT traders yesterday would have been here in this position yesterday thinking we're going to take the low? How many is that? Sell side liquidity. It's going to take it. It's going to take it. It's going to take it. And it would have absolutely smashed them if they were in that yesterday. But for me at the moment, I mean, we've been chopping around the daily VWAP since the futures open here at the moment, with it being a Friday at the moment. I've also got 2 wins on the week as well. I'm going to be very, very cautious going into today's trading as well. I mean, looking at the stocks yesterday as well. I mean, wow, right?
Dude, don't remind me.
Jeez. I mean, Tesla was what, 14? But I mean, it shows here 14%.
Dude, horrendous.
I mean,
down
I couldn't
14%.
believe it yesterday. Crazy. I mean, Google. Look at Google. Down 6.8% by the end of the day.
For Google, I'm like, is this an opportunity? Because
to buy.
Yeah. Like, the thing is, the problem is that so many of these stocks have run so much that, like, you look, or at least that I'm looking for, like, any pullback, and I'm like, all right, this is enough of a pullback. And then you look at something like Meta, and it's gone from 800 to 500, and you're like, okay, well, I thought 700 was a good pullback. I thought 650 was a good pullback. I thought 600 was a good pullback, and then it went to 520, and now you're just like, all right.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah. It's crazy. I mean, when I was looking at the news at the beginning of this week, right, and I was thinking, right, okay, there's no news Monday. There's basically no news all week. And I was thinking to myself, okay, right, it's going to be you know, the markets may move quite nice. Maybe they'll just grind higher, something like that. But I don't think there is officially a no news week anymore, is there? You can't call it that anymore, right?
Yeah,
it doesn't exist, does it?
Not in these markets, at least.
No. I still can't forgive him for Friday the 10th. Was it 10th of July when we had that massive candle going down? I still can't forgive him for that, for tweeting something then. Because what happened was my Top Step accounts, they got whacked by the slippage, like hard. Like my account
that one crazy candle.
That one candle. I think it was the 10th of July, something like that. And most of my accounts took the full stop loss, which was about 200. It should have been $220 for each account, but it was like 280, 290 based on the slippage. The Top Step accounts got hit and they lost $420, $430 per account. Whoa. So 5 accounts all lost $420, $430. And I actually, this Wednesday, I got my 5th day of $150 green on the Top Step accounts. I thought I qualified for a payout. And I was thinking, well, I had my anniversary on the Tuesday. So I'd even had the X-Post planned, anniversary sponsored by Top Step, got my payouts, doing all the influencer stuff and everything. And then I saw on the dashboard, there was no payout request to be able to do it. And I was looking and I realized because he'd hammered me that day, my price that I'd previously taken the payouts on was lower than my price on my accounts now was lower than when I'd previously taken the payouts, if that makes sense. You've got to have made a profit since the last payouts, which I would have done easily if Trump didn't come along and smash me.
Yeah, I'll pull up my screen quick. Pull up my screen one sec. 260 points for, this is a 1 minute chart.
Is that the count? Is that
280 points? This was, the one piece of it was 200 points, and then the following, which continued down probably in like the next 30 seconds to another 85 points down. And then in 2 minutes, like a giant move. Do you remember what the tweet actually was?
I don't quite remember. All I remember, right, because I was on ASFX stream on that day. And I just remember I was yabbering on about football or something with the lads, and then suddenly they were trading ES, and they were like, "Whoa, something's happened! Whoa!" And nothing had happened on my chart. I was trading NQ, so it was delayed for about 2 or 3 seconds, and then NQ absolutely smashed down. So it was delayed, and I noticed there was another influencer who was trading NQ. She was looking at ES, that went first, and then NQ went a couple of seconds later. It was just bizarre that day, but it sits long in the memory that day. For sure.
No, there have been a lot of times where also I've gotten into algo trades that my stop just gets rinsed because of the execution of the trading view, and then like that. The delay there, which is unfortunate, but like that's part that. I mean, in addition to what the slippage on your end, like it's kind of part of the deal. Like it's kind of just like you just got to take it on the chin. Kind of, it sucks, obviously, but you just kind of have to take it on the chin.
Well, people were telling me when I first got into futures that, oh yeah, you'll love futures. There's no slippage whatsoever. Zero slippage. zero. Well, it shows even on sim funded accounts, that there's going to be some sort of slippage, isn't there? For sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's like you'll look at that like once you look. If you were back testing that. That's like a once or twice in a year sort of event where you get a candle of that size and that volatility. But
I mean, in that instance, like, yes, of course you got slipped. Of course it's going to like impact your account. But what if you were short?
Yeah.
Austin was that. If you were short,
Austin was.
Yeah. If you were short,
he was about to get stopped out. I was about to get TP, and suddenly it just massively reversed.
Yeah,
it's
like,
one of those.
If you were short, like you'd be pretty happy with that slippage because it would have gone way in your favor.
For sure.
So
for sure. Yes, but that's just where risk management comes in. I mean, I did an X post on it a day or two after, saying if you blew your account on that candle, then maybe your risk management needs revisiting. Like if you're being blown away by one candle, you're risking way too much. I mean, if it's an eval and you've taken payouts before and you're just being aggressive because that's where you go with evals and you blew your account because of that candle, fair enough. But if you've got a funded account and you blew your account through that one candle, like you're risking way too, in my opinion, you're risking way too much.
Dude, I want to show you something that I always tell the users. Let me pull it up quick. So by the way, the market opened, guys. And let me just check the news quick. One sec. Just to be clear, we have PMI at 9:45. We have new home sales at 10. Just so everyone knows, we do have some economic data today. God, you know what's so annoying when there's something on this mouse.
Have you got a new microphone as well? Sounds decent.
I don't know. I hate this thing. The room I'm in is very echoey because like I don't have much in here, but I do not like having this giant thing on my desk. It's like, I don't know how you do the arm. The whole arm, I can't.
I'm playing around with where it is, the arm. Yeah,
I would.
It is in my eye line.
The moment that I get off stream, this thing comes off my desk. Yeah. So everyone, well, thank you for that. I'm happy my audio is good. But everyone in Edgeful, and also if you are not an Edgeful member, you can just type in Edgeful risk calculator into Google and you'll get a free, no account creation required. You can just use it. What this is, it's a risk calculator. And most people with a 50K account, let me just make this bigger. One sec. All right. So if you have a 50K account with 2K of drawdown, you're going to put $2,000 in this field, and then you're going to put your risk per trade in this field. So right now, what I have here is a $2,000 of drawdown, $400 risk per trade. That's pretty. Would you say that that's pretty normal for most people?
For what size account?
$2,000.
2,000 drawdown. Yeah, I mean, yeah, probably like maybe 300, maybe $300, maybe.
So I'm going to show you what this looks like with 400, and I'll show you what it looks like with 300. If you're risking $400, this is basic math, you're risking 20% of your account. You can only afford to take 5 consecutive losing trades. Obviously, that's a lot of risk. Now, if you scroll down, what you see is what is the probability of blowing your account based on different win rates? What is the chance of taking 5 straight losses, which is from this number up top, with a 40% win rate? You have a guarantee to blow your account. This is based on what you were saying a second ago. What is the chance of taking 5 straight losses with a 50% win rate? Also a guarantee. What about a 60% win rate? Virtually a guarantee. Even with a 70% win rate, you're going to blow 1 in 5 accounts. 21% of the time, you're going to blow your account from consecutive losing trades, not even 2 losers and a winner and 2 losers. This is consecutive losing trades. So like you're way off the mark in terms of risk management. Now, if you were to drop this down to 200, your numbers, you put yourself in a much better position because you're risking 10% of your account per trade. Obviously, you need 10 consecutive losers. You are much less likely to hit a terrible losing streak. This is called a risk of ruin calculator. I want everyone to at least try this out once and it's free. You don't need an account if you don't have an Edgeful account. You can just type in Edgeful risk calculator, it'll come up. But like Dan was just saying, if you blew your account on one day, you're risking way too much. So I just wanted to highlight that. Wow, we are getting a push here.
It's funny with that risk calculator, right? And I'll be completely honest with you here. When I first saw that, and because I was risking a lot more aggressively when I first saw that, and I remember putting my numbers into it, and I saw the risk of ruin, and I thought, nah, it's okay. I'll be fine. Do you know what I mean? And then you blow accounts, don't you? And then you're like, okay, it's actually making sense, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like, I think when I first looked at it, I thought, no, I will be different.
I'll be in the other side of the camp.
For sure. And then you blow accounts, and then, once you blow a few too many for your own risk appetite, then you start paying attention to that thing a lot more, and that's where you need to know your own win rate as well.
Yeah,
you need to know your own win rate. Track your data.
It's kind of crazy, dude. Like, people just like don't believe me. Like, they don't. A lot of these things are not even my opinion. It's not even like I'm giving them, hey, here's the best strategy. This is the whatever. Like, nothing in edgeful is my opinion. Like, full stop. And like, dude, people like refuse to believe the things that I say, which is crazy because I'm just reiterating the data. I'm turning it into English like that, like exactly like that risk of ruin calculator, this. Like, I'm telling you that if you risk 20% of your account, there is no strategy on the planet that will help you, that will save you. Impossible.
Throw in Trump as well, which I know the edgeful data can't quantify.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean, though, right? If there's another curveball in there, like we saw on that 10th of July or whatever it was earlier in the month from Trump. So, yeah, for sure.
It's for sure. I mean, it makes it hard, dude. Like, it makes it hard to. Sometimes, honestly, it makes it hard to help people because they don't want to listen. There was way back in the day, there was this guy that he wanted me to build this report on like a EMA crossover strategy with like a VWAP, and like it was on GC only. It was with like a 5-minute candle, like whatever. It was like some super complicated thing. And he was so insistent that I would build it. And I told him like a million times, like, we don't do things like that. It's what you're saying is completely subjective. Like, we can't measure it.
Yeah.
It's and then if it closes above or closes below and it starts to fluctuate right around the SMA, is that 5 crosses? Is that 5 closes above and below? Like, how does that impact the report? Whatever else. And dude, he just wouldn't listen to me, and he would just continue to struggle, and he'd blow accounts and blow accounts and blow accounts. Dude, he ended up losing like multiple 6 figures trading the strategy that he was married to. And I was like, it doesn't work. I'm sorry to tell you, dude, like, it doesn't work. And I was trying to help him and trying to help him and trying to help him. And he refused to listen. And I was like, I don't know what to tell. I mean, I'm doing my part. I'm trying to give you advice. Hey, maybe you should look at these other things. Like, at the time, the gap fill was working really well. Very simple report. You have a target. You have a bias every day. Like, really easy. But he didn't want to do it. I'm like, okay, why don't you use the ORB? Why don't you use the IB? Why don't you use outside days? No, I want my EMA crossover strategy on GC. And I'm like, all right, dude, like, I wish you the best, not sarcastically. Like, I do hope that this works, because it's like heartbreaking to see like when the people don't listen. That's the hardest part. I'm like, dude, I can't help you. Like, I'm doing everything. I'm doing my part. You got to do the other half.
But this is why, though, it takes people a variety amount of years to become profitable. You know, when someone says, how long is it going to take me? You almost want to ask the question, well, how stubborn are you? Are you quite stubborn? Do you know what I mean? If you're stubborn, you're gonna take a long time to learn, because you're gonna try and figure out yourself, and you're gonna ignore advice from others, and it's just gonna add to your learning curve, isn't it? You know, for sure.
You know what I always say? Everyone has a specific dollar amount that they will lose before they stop breaking the rules. And that number is different for everyone. It could be 5,000, or it could be 500,000. It could be 50,000. It could be $100,000. Where you lose, where you break your own rules enough times, and then you're just like, enough is enough, man.
Yeah.
Like, enough. Like, if you have a red day, don't try to make it back, because every time you have a red day and you try to make it back, you lose 3 times more. And everyone, in my opinion, everyone has that dollar amount. You just have to hope that it's less than what you actually think it is.
Yeah, it's the moment of disgust, isn't it? Once you get to that moment of disgust in yourself, and that's the same with everything, whether it's health and fitness, or relationships, or trading, money, finances, whatever. It's that moment of disgust, isn't it, where you hopefully will flip.
Yeah, totally agree. It's what's up?
You just if you just put me back up here.
Yep. There you are.
So gap, the yellow box is the gap So the gap is now filled on MNQ. So that's now being completed. Previous session low, we've got below us on NQ here at the moment. I mean, that is a beautiful bounce so far off the daily VWAP. And if we go to edgeful and we look at the inside bar support, 88% chance over the last 6 months that we're going to break either the previous session high or previous session low. Previous session high is quite far. We're going to have to smash through the daily VWAP, and we're going to have to break these highs here. I think we're probably more likely to take the previous session low. I would love for that previous session low to be intact before the IB set. I doubt it very much. I think probably, you know, thinking about those ICT traders out there, probably I could see us sweeping these lows that we couldn't get yesterday.
Yeah.
Which actually, which is the previous session low, isn't it? So, yeah.
So the midnight open is about to hit. By the way, I know you use the regular gap fill indicator. Have you seen the gap fill 2.0?
The ultimate reversal setup?
It's a different indicator. It's a new indicator.
No,
if you click on the indicators and then go to invite only, gap fill right there at the bottom, right, it's right on your screen.
Gap fill 2.0. I'm not aware of this one.
The reason that if you go to like a 1 minute chart, it'll be easier to see.
Yeah.
But what this does is it allows you to plot the half gaps. And that 75% gap fill, it tells you what the 0 line is where the today's open is. The 100% line is the gap fill, and then the intermediate lines are the intermediate lines, obviously. The one that you use was initially built for stocks.
Yeah.
Which is why it was like, I mean, I think it's a good one, but it's not as like robust. It's not as like, it doesn't have as much like customizability. You don't have to use this one if you like the other one, if you like to see like how much of the gap has filled so far with like that continuous thing. But I just wanted to flag to you that if you do like that indicator, this is one where you can like also toggle on and off the 75 and the 25 if you just want those like 0, 50, and 100.
Yeah, it's good for if you want to customize the gap fill to see if 50% is going to be filled, 25. Yeah. That's good. That's a nice one.
Strong push down on NQ, and ES is holding up like actually pretty well.
Both below the daily VWAP though at the moment. Just speaking from the VWAP point of view at the moment. So NQ's cleaner for the sells at the moment. That's for sure.
Meta's consolidating. Nvidia's kind of consolidating near the lows. Apple's ripping. Tesla near the lows. Google's kind of near the highs, and Broadcom is selling off hard. One of the things that I know we haven't streamed together in a while, but one of the things that I like to do is look at the heaviest weighted names in the heaviest weighted stocks in the S&P and the NASDAQ. So I'm like, okay, if these are at the lows or these are trending downwards, maybe that's going to inform the trade that I'm going to take on the other side. Also, guys, we did push some updates to edgeful. I'm going to grab the screen back from you just for a second. So we did push some updates to edgeful. One being this homepage, the Get Started page. This went live yesterday. What's the indicator? Previous session low. It's an edgeful. Yes, it is an edgeful indicator. It's called the Ultimate Reversal Setup. It's my favorite one. It shows you the previous day's high and low, previous day's close, and the midnight opening price. Highly recommend using it. Whether price opens inside or outside of yesterday's range, I have it on my charts every day. But what we have here is the new Get Started page. The new home page is kind of your navigation. So you'll always see that you'll see like the features that are for the historical data, and you'll see the features for the live data. You'll see some of the videos that we have, which are in terms of the Ultimate Reversal Setup, how to use the reports using what's in play. We have the full video library here as well, the one from the original Get Started page, which was the essential walkthrough and the advanced walkthrough. That's over here. But you can also ask AI up here any questions you have. So explain the initial balance in simple terms. It's a preloaded prompt. You hit send, and you're going to get a little AI explainer. If you have any questions, you can do that here. Just right off the bat, like what does edgeful do? Like what are the most popular reports? You can ask that here. So right off the bat, you can do that. You can ask questions as you land in here. I'll give you the explanation, single break, double break, whatever else. And then the other thing that we added was on the reports page and on every other page, including the what's in play, this Ask Edgeful AI button at the top right. And this is where you can say, I'm looking at the gap fill report. What does this mean? Like, how do I use the gap fill report? Or what other reports can I pair well with the gap fill? And you can just click this, and then you can have your chat bar open, and then you can say, explain the gap fill report in 3 sentences. And I'm looking at it now, and this will follow you throughout the entire page. If you want to continue this conversation in Edgeful AI, you can just click this and it'll take you to like the full Edgeful AI dashboard. But this is the V0. This is what we call it, like the initial launch. And then V1 and V2 and V3 will come where we will, like, this will be context aware of what you're looking at, which is not currently. But yeah, just wanted to highlight some of the new things to you guys. We're making small changes that hopefully add up to make big impacts over time.
It's never been easier though, is it? With Edgeful now to kind of just figure the reports out, tailor it towards what you want to do. Like we spoke in the past about how far Edgeful has come in the past few years from that gray dashboard that you guys had to now what you've got today of Edgeful AI literally on every single report page. It's it's very cool.
I'm going to pull up your screen. I'll actually just pull that up quickly. So for anyone who's new, I'm gonna answer your question in a second. We buy house UK. Just give me 1 second while I. By the way, there was PMI, I think, a minute ago, just so you guys know. All right, I'm going to take this screen back. You guys want to see something crazy?
There it is.
This is what the first version of Edgeful looked like. So
back in the day,
yeah. The sub-reports used to be like this until we got too many sub-reports and they started to wrap, and like then we had too many options, or we had the like literally this sidebar was like it was like 3 or 4 rows at like the top of your screen of just like buttons. We were like, we can't do this anymore. We got to change it. Actually, the asset selector was up here before. So you switch from stocks to futures to Forex up top. And we actually had Forex before we had futures, which is crazy. But yeah, we had, it's crazy to see this too.
It's a reflection though of how obsessed you are with UI, user interface experience, and you're obsessed with it, aren't you?
Oh my God. I mean, I know that even now there are so many things that drive me nuts about our UI. Like there's so many things that I'm like, oh, we need to fix this. We need to fix this. We need to fix this. And I'm just like, priorities, like reprioritize. Like there are so many things. I can imagine you
being up at like 2 a.m, tweaking things with the UI experience and everything.
Of course, dude. Like, everything matters. I think that nothing by itself matters, but like not one change is going to make a difference by itself, but 100 of those small changes will make a massive difference. And like, what you want ideally is for the users not to even notice how smooth the experience is. Like that's the best case scenario, is like, oh, we've made all these changes. Nobody even knows, but their experience is 10x better than it was before.
Yeah.
So it's tough because like even the concept of this discover page was right now, and I'll be totally honest, like I'm not delusional. How do people find reports on Edgeful? They go on Twitter and they check who's talking about what. And that trickles from what I tell our partners, right? The influencers we partner with. Here's what is working well right now. Here's how you're going to combine it with different reports. Zinc goes and talks about it on Twitter. you see Zinc's posts. I should look at that. I'm going to make it my own. Now you're going to make it your own. You're going to use other reports. You're going to do other things. But like that experience, they're not finding it on their own in the app. Like nobody's like, I mean, the people who go through one by one, and there's a lot of people that do that, and like respect to them. And like, that's just not the majority of people. So for me, I'm like, how do we allow people to find what are good reports that are working well on the tickers that they want? We can't hard code it, because if I hard coded the gap fill report and I put the standard customization here, if I fit this as a popular report, Jesus, what is happening right now? This is seeming to form to be a pretty crazy day. But yeah, true. Look at this. I found the IB from Dan, from you. That's great.
And I found it from Zinc. So
yeah, I know.
We're all just passing it down, aren't we? Do you know what I mean?
Like, continue.
It's crazy though, isn't it? And then you know, like Dutch 337, you said you learned it from me. So hopefully now you're not just doing what I'm doing exactly, but you'll take what I do, take the reports I do, and sort of make it your own as well, and turn it into your own thing. And someone's going to see your content. Hopefully, if you've not already started sharing on social media, I know sharing on social media is not for everybody, but honestly, the amount of value you can provide by just showing how an edgeful report has worked for your trade in the day, I've been amazed by how many people have DM'd me over the past 6 months saying how much the edgeful posts have helped them, with me just showing a chart marker, showing you know, where the edgeful data was, where I was aiming for, and just something simple that people can kind of look at themselves, dive into themselves. And, you know, and I think as well, you said as well that they will go into the edgeful. There won't be many people who click on loads of things in the edgeful dashboard. But if you give people that excitement that, oh, right, okay, Dan's using this IB like this, all the edgeful data works. And once they get the bug for it, then they may start then clicking on different reports and stuff like that. And that's how I've started finding different reports. Because when I saw Zinc's way of doing it, I started, like every person who finds someone, trying to copy exactly what he does, realizing it doesn't quite make sense to me. Done it my own way, found some reports of my own as well, and then made it your own. So yeah, it's oh, whoa, have you seen the drop here?
I'm staring. I'm looking. So the reason I'm looking over here is because my camera's over here, but I have another screen here, and I have you and me on this side with my screen share up here. And we did take this previous day's low on NQ, and it seems like we're gonna hit it on ES too. But that was part of the just to like tie the bow on this point here of why I brought this up was I know that opening edgeful feels like walking into a library with 1,000 options, and you're just like, where do I start? Like, what works, what doesn't work? And that's the intention of this Discover page, because it's dynamic. Because the Discover page allows you to, it always like looks at what's working now. And we built a score. So the score, like, you'll never see something that has 100% and a sample of 1. Like, you can't rank it by the data, because gap fill that's over 2% that filled, it only happened once and it worked. You don't want to see it at the top because it doesn't have a big enough sample size. So we built out the score. We have like, and if you scroll all the way down, or if I do this, like if I go all the way down, there are a lot of reports that score 0 that like you probably don't want to be looking at. But yeah, it's trying to make it as easy as possible for people to find setups, for people to find how to combine reports, for people to find, like, we're trying to surface it to you, and that's the difficult piece, because everyone has a different style. But it's like, think of it, you know, you go back to that dashboard again from when, you know, a few years ago or a couple of years ago, there were how many sub-reports? What, like 3, 4? So actually the need for AI to help you find different reports, maybe not needed as much, because you had those sub-reports, you had YouTube videos on the edgeful dashboard to help you with each of those. It was quite easy to do, wasn't it? But now these days, if someone is brand new and they're coming into edgeful and they're seeing all like 10 to 15 sub-reports for one report, I completely get how that can be overwhelming. But that's where I think if you are using the edgeful dashboard for the first time, or you have found it
confusing, that's where you need to take advantage of the AI and the discovery, because the discovery is great. Like you can, like your strategy as a trader you want to be consistent with your strategy over time, because that's how you get, you know, profitable results. But you want to also make sure you adapt to different market conditions, different data sets that are working particularly well. And that's where the discovery page can allow you just to tweak what you do based on certain reports that do well, that fit into what you're trading, whether it's the ORB, whether it's the IB. You've got to constantly be looking to adapt and evolve. And that's where discovery page is great.
Yeah, here's a Summer Z. I totally agree, but that is unacceptable in my standards here. Like, if you can't figure it out in a week, like, that's an issue. So we want to make it as easy as possible for you to figure it out. And I don't think right now, unless you watch YouTube videos, unless you go to the streams, unless you go on Twitter, it's really at a place where you can, without getting on a call, without watching live streams, without doing anything, for you to be able to figure out, like, okay, how do I combine these two things? How do I take a trade? What reports should I be looking at? Dude, what is happening with this sell-off right now? Like, can we get a bounce so we can take a short?
Yeah, for me, the VWAP is way too far away from me for even think about shorts at the moment. I want a nice bounce back here before looking for anything. It's just way too high. It's crazy. How much is that 5 minute candle is how much? That is, 160 points in 5 minutes. I missed the days where the IB range was 160 points.
I know.
I'll tell you what, I keep looking at June, you know, and because in June I traded very little, and it was mostly because the IB range was too big for me for a micro. Like too big for me. And you know what? I missed a few IB25 setups because the IB range was too big, but there were a couple as well where if I got in those, I would have lost. And because the risk would have been bigger, my accounts would have got smashed as a result. So it was really tough to sort of stay out of trades in June, but risk management was top of my priority that month, and it paid dividends. But I mean, those IB ranges, like I was looking at stop losses of 240 points on a trade. I'm like, what?
Dude, you can't do that. Like,
there was one day, I think my stop loss, if I was going to take my IB25 trade, when I know I have a wide stop, like my stop loss is at IB75 if I'm going to take an IB25, and it was like 500 points for a stop loss. It was crazy.
It's you can't take that trade. That's ridiculous. Like James, I mean, actually, I don't know because of where you are. Like James, for example, trades CFDs. I don't know how familiar you are with CFDs, but like he can set his stop 1,000 points away and risk $100 because he can fractionalize his position size. His quantity can be 0.0001 NQ, and he can risk 1,000. He can set his stop at all-time highs, and he can risk $100 if he loses that trade. That's like an unbelievable advantage for him, because like for me now, I like to risk roughly 50 points because 50 points on one mini is $1,000. Like, so if you set a stop, like let's say here, like I can't put my stop above the midpoint of the orb here. It's 100 points. Like it just destroys my whole trade. Like it destroys my whole my whole setup. So now my concern is that as price continues higher, as this number in the y-axis here goes from 30,000 to call it 50,000, what happens? Is a normal stop going to be 300 points? And then do they have to come out with nanos, like minis, micro, nano? Like does there have to be a smaller contract?
They're going to have to, aren't they? They're going to have to. But I mean, 100%. It's already shown. I mean, I don't know. Is it like when a new president comes in the future, the markets will be less volatile and we'll just get normal size IB ranges, or is it just going to be the case now?
Even if the stock market is naturally meant to go up, even if it goes up slowly, if it's at 50,000, dude, there's no way that the IB ranges are not going to be 250 points, 500 points, and then you're risking half of it. Now you're risking 250. It's impossible. It's like not, you just can't do it. Because even with a micro, you're gonna destroy your account.
Yeah, just crazy, isn't it?
It is.
Like I remember when I first got into futures, they were like people were on social media poo-pooing micros. It's like, oh, what, you trade a micro? Oh, come on, have a bit of decent size on it, you know. And now these days, micros is normal now. Not only
micros are normal,
but it's actually because very sensible risk management now, isn't it?
I totally agree, dude. Hold on, I'll be right back. I'm gonna get a coffee. 1 sec.
Sure. Someone's asked me, where was I saw, I'm not ignoring your question, this one here. Dan, how close you usually want the for the VWAP, I'm basically looking for it to be around the IB50. So for me, if the VWAP is around about here, for example, that's where I will be a bit more inclined to take the position, because then, you know, the VWAP is my invalidation level. So if I'm taking a trade and it starts breaking above the New York VWAP, then I'll cut it around about here. I'll cut it just around about there. Do you know what I mean? So for me, if I cut it around about there, my loss won't be $300 that I initially risked. It'll be $150, $200. But if I'm, for example, taking this trade now, say if I just take an IB25 trade now, and that VWAP is so high, then for me, based on my invalidation rules, where am I going to cut my trade? If it comes up here and breaks above the New York VWAP, then I'm going to have to cut it around about here. And because I'm a negative R trader, I don't want to cut my trade so close to the stop loss. It just erodes my edge over time. So I'm just looking for, you know, the VWAP just to be lower, basically. But I am quite cautious here of shorts just because we have taken the previous session low. Usually when we have taken, you know, the liquidity like that at the moment, usually we do get some sort of a bounce here. But we have, to be fair, we have taken that previous session low with quite a bit of strength here. So I want to see how it reacts here. I want to see the New York VWAP come lower here, which I think it will do. But because we've taken the previous session low, there is the chance here we may get this push higher. But I've talked a lot this week about trading the right side of the VWAPs. And I think for me, it's been important for me to do. If I just show, let me just get my, let me show an example to you guys. So if I go to, say, the Monday trade here, if I think it was the Monday trade, and this is where I'm very big on trading the right side of VWAPs at the moment. This was a potential trade here that I was looking at. We got the bounce off the New York VWAP here, and I was thinking, we do get some sort of reaction here. If I'm going to enter the IB25 and we bounce off the daily VWAP and move higher, I'm going to immediately turn around to myself and say, why was I entering there? Because we just bounced off the daily VWAP. And sometimes you're going to be right and sometimes you're going to miss the move. For this day here, I actually missed the move, which is fine. Maybe could have got an entry on the New York VWAP there, but there's so many times where I've seen it bounce off the daily VWAP, move higher, and I've taken an IB75 trade. So that's where for me, like, I've just got to be, I think when you're a negative R trader, you've got to be willing to miss moves. You've got to be A plus, A plus, A plus with what you're doing. And I think it was Tuesday, if I show the Tuesday one, now this Tuesday one, I think was very, very similar. This one, was it Tuesday or was it Wednesday? I can't remember. Oh yeah, it was this one here. So this one here bounced off the daily VWAP, and then we do get that move that I just talked about, where we bounced off the daily VWAP, moved with strength to the IB 75, and we got the move there. I missed this because it was my wedding anniversary, so I wasn't on the charts on the day, so I blame my wife for me missing that trade on that day. But
hold on, we lost your audio.
Is it back?
Yep, there you go.
Okay, I wasn't for too long. I was.
No, it was literally 1 second. Okay. You said you blame your wife, and that's it.
I blame my wife for the loss. But basically, yeah. So it's kind of just where, as a negative R trader, I have to be okay with missing moves. Sometimes I'm going to play the right side of the VWAPs, and I'm going to miss a move, and I have to be okay with that. I think that's one of the key things. If you're a negative R trader, A plus, A plus, A plus. And you know what? I've actually been guilty of that this month, because this month I've gone full-time trader for the first time ever.
Congrats.
And thank you very much. And I have felt this
accomplishment.
No, I appreciate that. I've got a YouTube video coming out tomorrow where I show the whole journey. I show everything. It's dramatic. Like, honestly, from Wales to China to Abu Dhabi, there's so much drama along the way and chaos, but I share all about tomorrow on my YouTube. But basically, what was I saying? I lost my point now.
So I think you were saying you have to be more selective because you're full-time now with your trades. You have to.
That was it. So basically, this month, because I've gone full-time, I felt a bit less patient to wait for my A+ setups. Yeah. I think you know what? I kind of anticipated this, that I would sort of be a bit like that. I've heard other traders be like that as well, that when they went full-time, they got into the habit of over trading a bit because they're a trader now, and they got to trade. Yeah. And, it's kind of, I've been guilty of that a little bit this month, just taking not quite A+ trades. But I'm very aware of it, and I'm trying to get myself back to sort of just those A+ setups that I've been working on. But yeah.
I'm going to show you something now.
You originally from Wales, Dan? Yes, sir. I'm from North Wales. So not the Yuckida Welsh strong accent side, the normal sounding, normal accent side of Wales.
Have you used do you ever use like Claude Code or Codex AI at all? Do you?
I take that as a compliment that you think I am that smart.
It doesn't require. It doesn't require.
I'm like tech Bruce level. No.
Are you? You're tech Bruce level. Yeah. We got so many tech Bruce level traders.
Maybe a little bit higher. Maybe like I can create my own category above the tech Bruce level. But
it's hilarious, tech Bruce. Dude, he's the worst with technology.
It's you know what though, I poked fun at James. I poked fun at Zinc before as well, because what did Zinc say? I keep saying he said what? Zinc said Wales was in the Southern Hemisphere at one point. I still find that hilarious to this day. So they have every right to poke fun at me and to pick on me and to find something that I do wrong all the time, for sure. They completely
The American school system has failed us on the geography side. I want to show you guys something. So let me pull up my screen one sec. So I just used the edgeful API to ask. So I'm looking at today, right? Let me just take these. Let me take this indicator off. I'll take this off. Let me clean this up for a second. I will have one very simple question. My question is, how many times did an inside bar on ES and on NQ set up on the same day? And how many times did NQ take the low, previous day's low specifically, and ES either not break out at all or take the high? And if you look, when NQ takes the previous day's low on an inside bar, ES almost always takes the low too. The divergence you're asking happens about 28 to 30% of the time. When it does, it's nearly always because ES swept the previous high, not because ES stayed quiet. So ES no breakout. So NQ took the previous day's low and ES had no breakout in the last year has only happened 3 times. ES took the previous day's low and ES touched previous high 12% of the time. And NQ took the previous day's low and ES took its low, no divergence, 90% of the time. So the bias is definitely leaning to the downside on ES. Now the price action is not really reading that way to me, but I'm just saying.
We're getting a big bounce on ES right now.
Yeah, wow. Slow down here. Can you reach out to our support, please? Because so click on this thing right here and then click chat with us. I want to make sure that gets fixed immediately. If you could just send like either a screenshot or the chat URL like the chat ID, which is in the URL, that would be awesome because I want to make sure that that gets fixed immediately. Wow. Sorry, I'll pull your
ES is complete. This is the ES chart at the moment.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, we might get
is there any news? Is there any?
10 a.m. was new home sales.
No, we're 5-10 minutes past that, aren't we?
Yeah.
Wow. That is just completely flipped on its head. Broke above both of you upset. Is the music gone? Is it quiet?
I hear it.
You hear it? Does the chat hear it?
You hear
I
it
don't
now?
hear it.
You don't hear it at all? I just put it super loud.
No.
You don't hear it at all? Okay. No, it's there. Don't worry.
Okay.
I like the music. Whoever found the music thing, A+.
Why do I not hear the music?
Did you change your system audio to be off? Maybe. Tech Dan. We got Tech Dan now.
Live on stream in front of hundreds of people trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, Tech Dan.
Tech Dan. Oh no.
Yeah. No, don't worry, guys. I put it back down. I see your comments. It was perfect before. Yeah, I have it. I put it on 20, like the volume from 20. I put it up to like 60. Kevin goes, you probably can't hear it due to the alarm.
It's gone now, the alarm. The alarm is off now. It only went off about 5 minutes ago. Yeah.
Did it? Yeah, that sucks.
It's weird. Weird.
Well, I was initially interested, obviously, in the shorts, but I am no longer interested in the shorts unless let me pull up my screen quickly. I mean, if ES continues to push like this, first of all, I'm going to pull up the. So Apple's making a big run. Google's reversing. Tesla's at low of day. Meta's at low of day. NVIDIA made a big run. Broadcom looks to have bottomed. But what I would love to see, ideally, is something like this. Break back into the orb here on NQ. I would need to see confirmation, like a fail on ES here to take the short. But because NQ is so much weaker and it's taken previous day's low, it is absolutely the weaker index. And like, I think that you actually, you stick to one, you don't really flip-flop between the two. Is that right?
I'm trying. I trade better when I just stick to one. Like I traded ES on Thursday. So me saying I stick to one is an absolute load of rubbish because I traded ES on Thursday because NQ broke its low. But I trade better with one. There's no doubt about that,
So I always like to, if I see a short setup, I'll take it on the weaker one. If I want a long, like if I wanted to go long right now, I would do it on ES. If I wanted to go short, I would do it on NQ. The problem with ES here is that this is not really giving me much confidence to take the trade. And then if we go to the what's in play right now, you're going to see for ES and NQ, for the most popular template, we have that Italian flag again. So like, not super interested in the Italian flag on the what's in play. If I go to the screener quickly, let's see how this is going. If I go to the screener quickly, mostly neutral. Obviously, this will form more in the next 17 minutes, but I'm not super confident in either direction right now. So anything that I would take would definitely be more of a scalp, not looking for a bigger move. But my inclination, like if for anyone who's been watching for a while, this type of price action is very much my style, like what I look for. Now, I wish that this move down was a little bit more shallow, like it didn't pull down as much. I wish it was a little bit more like this. This would have been better if we had something like this, looking for that continuation down, but not ideal so far. Wow, ES is so strong.
It's crazy.
Day. Apple's really
it's
strong.
So funny with psychology how, because you're short man, aren't you? You like to go short.
Always.
Well, for me, shorts scare me. It's a psychological thing, but for me, it's like whenever I go short, I am more nervous about a short trade than a long trade. Always.
Let me give you my thoughts on it. I think that it is much easier for people to panic sell than it is for them to FOMO buy. Because when you FOMO into a trade, you now have risk on. But if you panic sell, you have risk off. And it's easier for people to panic sell, which would cause a cascading of continuation down, versus panic buy. Like nobody's like, I mean, FOMO buying, panic buying, like is way more rare. And interestingly, I have data to back what I'm saying.
Well, funny enough, that's where my fear comes from. It comes from data. It comes from, it's a psychological thing, because in my head, I'm thinking markets go up, but then my data also says I lose more money on shorts than I do long.
Yeah, so, which is true, which is totally true. The thing that what I'm going to highlight now is that if you look at the breakout days on NQ, IB by levels, and you look at this from the 0.1 to 0.8, 98 dropping down to 22. If you look at that days that break to the downside, look at the level of continuation to the down. Like I'll switch back again. 22 positive 0.8. Let's look at negative 0.8. 51.
Yeah.
51.
Yeah.
That's continuation.
Which makes sense. Just look at yesterday.
Exactly. So price, yes, of course it rises over time. Wow. What a rejection here.
Would you want it to touch the orb low before taking?
I honestly, I think that getting short right here, I would have expected price to move into the orb slightly, a little bit more, because also again, if I enter exactly at the orb and I put my stop above this high, the stop is like starting to get a little bit too big. So I would not have taken it here for sure, because if I took it at previous day's low, even though it's like rejecting perfectly off previous day's low, I would have expected it to touch the orb, and I would have been like a little bit upset, honestly, if my entry was 30 points off where I actually wanted it to be, because I'm looking for a move of like roughly 50 points usually.
Yeah, makes sense.
Andre, aren't moves down, for example, moves below the IB low, aren't they smaller in size than long extensions above the IB? So good question. Wow, dude.
Kind of a bit gutted it's going lower. I would have loved it to sit higher for another 5-10 minutes and then come lower.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Yes, it's Chop City.
Quite unfortunate on the NQ side there. So, just so you know, this always is based on the relative size of the orb, of the IB. So if the IB is 50 points, a one-time extension above the high is 50 points higher than the high. A one-time extension below the low is 50 points below the low. If the IB is 1,000 points, a one-time extension to the high is 1,000 points above the high, and then equally to the low side. By the way, guys, just for anyone who's new or doesn't really know, if you scroll down on any of these report videos or these reports, we have videos that will explain exactly what the report does, what it measures with live chart examples, played on 2x speed. But it's very important to watch them so you can understand what the nuances are of the trade, of the report. Wow, not gonna lie, the FOMO is building right now for me.
For me, I'm just very cautious because someone, who put it in, who said, here we go, we have a diverged IB now. So we got ES, which technically now is a bullish IB, but when it's a bullish IB, say it's a bullish IB, I don't see an edge in ES right now. Like, yeah, the lowest form first, the highest form second, but it's chop.
Yeah, and then also, as it looks right now, we might get a new IB low in the next 11. It's like we have time for that.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that closing zone. If it closes in that 75 to 100, it's actually like very likely to break the low.
Yeah. You know what? The closing zone it's just I'm trying to be more patient, because usually I'd enter about 10 minutes before the IB sets, but with that closing zone data now, I'm trying to enter just a bit closer to 10:25, front running it still, but by about 5 minutes. So, you know, roughly where it's going to be at 10:25 is where it's going to be at 10:30 sort of thing. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to get better at just holding off a little bit more, because the closing zone data is brilliant. Just gives you that extra bit of conviction, doesn't it?
Now, I have a question. How do you...
There's a long pause.
Yeah. How do you teach someone that is something to look for? And at what stage in their edgeful journey do you surface something like that?
It's a good question.
If you were to think about a curriculum.
I would say forget about live trading. Like, just back test for yourself the IB by breakout stat. Forget about the closing zones. Just go and back test that. And I would say, even when you first back test it, throw out any sort of discretion. Just try and keep it as mechanical as possible to begin with. You know, like for me, like saying today, like ES is choppy, so although it's a bullish bias, I'd stay out. I would say just forget discretion for now. So step number 1 is mechanical, focus on the IB by breakout. Go and back test it for a year, a couple of years, whatever you feel comfortable with. See that first, see the data, and then once you've done that, then look into the closing zones and then start seeing that, back test that as well. But the thing is, the IB closing zones is giving you stronger data. So once you've secured confidence in the IB by rejection data and you've seen the benefit of trading, you know, basically the continuation of the IB, right? IB high forms first, IB low forms second, you go short, you're trading the continuation. It's gonna work more often than not. The edgeful data says so. But then the IB, you know what I would say, even before the IB by closing zones, is you want to maybe even consider the IB by weekday as well. Look into the ads. That's another level in itself as well. I don't know if you put the IB by closing zones first or the IB by weekday second in terms of the development, but I would, that's what I would do. Go and back test the IB by rejection. Forget about closing zones. Just keep it simple. The simpler you keep it, the better, especially in the early days. And then from there, then back test the IB by closing zones. Because I think the edgeful data is great and it's going to give you confidence, but I think that's where back testing will just help just back up that edgeful data even more. Like, you know, I'm not one of these guys who's saying you should never back test. I think back testing has a role, has a part to play, but you don't want to go too far with it as well. People become a bit obsessed with it and they spend too long doing it and not enough time in the markets live trading. So that would be my curriculum as such. IB by rejection, look at the data, back test it, see the data playing out for yourself. Because, you know, edgeful's telling you it, but I completely get it. If you think, oh, I don't know, I'm not quite convinced yet, go and back test it, go and find out for yourself, you know. And then that's going to give you more conviction then in the live markets. And that's for me, when I'm entering a live trade, I'm thinking in my head, I've got confidence because the edgeful data is telling me this, and my back testing results are telling me this as well. And all I'm looking to do is trade the right side of the data. You know?
So, to ask you a follow-up on that, how do you turn that process into an onboarding? Meaning, you turn that, you say, we're going to start with the initial bounce, right? The IB, the core of the IB. We need to tell you what it is first. Let's assume that you don't know what the IB is, right? It's the high note of the first hour. This is what the report looks at. Single break, double break, no break. You understand the concept now. You see it on your charts. You have the indicator. Maybe you look by weekday. Slow downer. Maybe you look by weekday. Maybe you look at the IB sizes. Okay, like at what point, like now, are you comfortable enough with the concept of the initial balance? And like, are there a certain number of reps that you need to get in with the regular initial balance? Like, oh, I see the single break now. I see a double break now. And now that concept has clicked to me. And then I can move to IB by rejection. But you shouldn't, once you go to the IB by rejection, that next step is not the closing zone. Like you should, I don't think it should be immediately like, oh yeah, check this customization. You should to understand and to see which side forms first. So how do you turn that flow into an onboarding to where you can like virtually guarantee that if someone goes through the onboarding, they will understand how to take a trade the way that you do?
I think it's all to do with chart markups. I think you just got to do like hundreds of chart markups. And I don't think you even need 100. Like, for example, my wife has to listen to me talk about trading constantly because I don't have many people to talk about. If I put her on the charts now and said, are you going short or long today? She would say short. She knows just from listening to me over and over again about the IB, the high is there, the low is formed second, so you're going to look short. Do you know what I mean? And she knows my levels exactly as well now.
Yeah.
And I just think the IB is it's a tricky one for me to answer because I've done it so many times now. I can just look at a chart and go, I'd go short today. You know what I mean?
Story of my life.
Yeah, but it's one of those where I think someone, like if it was a student of mine, I would say, you know, you go and do 100 markups of this annotated. Go and do 100 markup annotations or the speech bubbles on TradingView that you can do. Bring them back to me, and then from there, go and back test that. From there, show me the results. Okay, fantastic. From there, go and paper trade it or trade it on a 25K prop account.
Yeah.
See what your results are after a few months. Give it a quarter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't think you should be rushing into anything. I don't think it's a case of trade the IB by rejection for 5 days, then go on to the. I think you've got to give things time, you know, to have a go at. You know, I do think the IB by rejection report is enough for you to get a prop firm payout. I strongly believe that. I believe
you've proven it.
Yeah, no, I've proven that. The IB by closing zones was not a thing back in January, February, March. Like I'd taken 20K in payouts by the end of February. None of that was IB closing zones. It was just the IB by rejection report in its simplest mechanical beauty, just on MNQ, super simple. I've never traded simpler, and I was getting more pay, but ironically more payouts. But you know, it's one of those where I think you've got to give the IB by rejection report a few months and then look into it. Because I think people are just in a rush. I know I was the same. Like, you just want to be in a rush. You want to be the next big, you know, hot shot trader who's using all these edgeful reports and you're, you know, killing it in the markets after a month or two. You got to give it time. Like, I think you can't judge anything until you've done it for a few months. And then if you got a few months and you come back to me with your results, then I would say, okay, go and check this out now. Bring me back 100 markups showing the closing zones, and then go from there. And you know, that's how I think as a teacher or former teacher. Now
look at this comment.
Hey man, I'm one of these woke teachers who I don't see that much value in homework in schools, mate. Don't see it.
Good, I like that.
Yeah.
You know, I agree with you. Right?
Yep.
If you want to get someone overweight to jacked six-pack, okay, you're going to go to the gym 5 days a week. You're going to track everything you eat. You're going to put it in your calorie tracker app. You're going to hydrate enough. You're not going to snack at night. You're not going to do all these things, right? There's a checklist, a very obvious list of things that people should theoretically do, which is what you just, in my mind, what you just did was you outlined those things like chart markups, back testing every day, looking at the different scenarios, doing all that. Yes, that gets you to that is virtually a guarantee to get you to the end goal that you're looking for. But now let's assume that only 15% or 20% of people are willing to track their calories, log all their water, log all their food, get 10,000 steps a day, go to the gym 5 days a week, not snack, no cheat meals. Like, let's assume in that instance where people like genuinely might not have the time to do 100 chart markups. Maybe they have they have kids, they have whatever else. Like, what does that look like now in your mind? Like, what is the fat that you can cut out of that process to make a 30-day plan versus a 90-day plan?
I think it's one of those where, 100 chart markups over the weekend, maybe you don't have time for that. You've got kids and you're busy and stuff and everything. And like you said, with the gym, for example, it's about turning up consistently, isn't it? Showing up consistently and doing the little insignificant things. You just talked about with Edgeful earlier in the stream, where it wasn't those big grand things you did with Edgeful. It was just the small little things done consistently over time that resulted in the dashboard today. I would say, the 100 trade markups, if you can't do that within a short time frame, then it's just okay. At least the very minimum, chart marking up a day's trading. Do you know what I mean? Like looking at today, marking it up as you go, the chart markup for today, followed by maybe a chart markup from this time last year, maybe something like that. Sure. You just do it in little chunks, sort of thing. Just looking at where the IB's closed at the moment. The IB's closed between the IB 50 and IB 25. The only thing that's stopping me taking the IB short here at the moment is ES. That's the only thing that's stopping me taking this short at the moment. ES is just a mess.
Yeah.
Don't know. Is anyone else in the chat in a trade at the moment? Anyone taking the IB25? If you did, you're looking like you're probably going to get a nice little win here at the moment, to be fair. Do I want to take an IB25 trade? Someone's asking. Okay, let me just pull back up my screen here.
Yep, I'm gonna use the API for something quick.
Yeah, do I have the power for that?
Yep, yeah. So the way to do it is on the bottom. You see like me, my screen, you
add to stage.
Screen, you gotta just remove. Yeah, you got to remove mine and then add yours.
Got it.
Yeah, you just have to remove it first.
Yeah. So someone's asking me here. Where was it? Kindly analyze your IB cut by concept. So basically, the way I'm looking at this is, first of all, what direction do I want to go? Well, the IB high has formed first, the IB low has formed second. So I'm looking for trades to break the IB low. So I'm looking to get out here. Now, when it comes to my entry level, I like to enter what is the IB25, which is a 25% retracement inside the initial balance. Because with IB25 trades, I'm the right side of the VWAP, and just look at this, beautiful. I mean, this is just a perfect sort of trade here. If you got in here, this may be a trade that I've missed today, but well done anyone who's in this at the moment. But basically, that's my it's really, really simple, my system. I look at whether the high or low of the IB is formed first. I'm looking to see if we're the right side of both of the VWAPs. And then I'm looking for the trade at the IB25 around about 10.30, 10.25, 10.20, something like that, is where I'm looking to sort of get in. So I'm very much like a time-based trader. I'm sort of looking to get in at sort of a certain sort of time in the day. Happy to wait it out. So yeah, so that's basically how I trade. Difficult to make a course on that because that is just super duper easy.
You might get if you get a bounce here, would you take it?
Maybe. It's one of those where it's just I'm looking at the candle closures below the VWAP, and we've had one close below the VWAP for the entire session. So although ES is a little bit choppy here, if we do get a move here to the IB25, I may take the trade here. So let's put that on. Let's put limit order on here. If we get it back to the IB25, I'll get in. And it's one of those where if I lose that trade, you could argue, oh, well, ES was super duper choppy. But in terms of how I trade, I don't place massive sort of weight on both ES and NQ. I'm trying my best to focus on one and keep it focused here. But I may be too late in this and may have missed it today. And that is absolutely fine for me. I've got 2 wins under my belt for this week anyway. So like, I won't be too upset here if we take the IB low. probably will. But it's one of those where if I lose, I'm going to have to, if I got in here and I lose because price goes above here and it closes above the New York VWAP, then that's where I go, oh, okay. So after 1 hour of trading, the time I entered was the time it moved back up against me. Okay, wow.
Of course.
I'll take that on the chin.
One sec. It's actually I just used the API. And wow, NQ is really going to smash this.
Look at that.
So I used the API to ask on the day, tell me how many days pretty much ES and NQ diverged in their IB formation. And the IB high forms first on NQ, the IB low forms first on ES, like which one won. And you always have to define one, meaning WON, like which one won, because like, what does that mean? And then the way that I define it is that not break and retest, but like continuation, pullback, continuation. IB low forms first, high is second, pullback, break the high. Low forms first, break the high, in my mind is a win. Same thing goes for the opposite. If the high forms first and the low break first, that's a win in the idea of the IB by rejection, obviously in the way that you define it. And it's a toss-up on what actually happens. So the divergence between the two doesn't mean that NQ is stronger, or NQ is more likely to play out versus ES is more likely to play out. But it is actually interesting to see that Google has like completely reversed the move. Tesla's at new low of day, which is heartbreaking, to be honest, because God, the stock is just like, and you know, it used to be Wall Street's favorite, the way that Nvidia is now. A few years ago, everything was Tesla. Everything was Tesla. Like if Tesla was going up, the market was going up. Now that's Nvidia. If Nvidia is green, the market's green. And Tesla used to be that golden child of the markets. It was like Wall Street's favorite. And that's when it made that crazy run way back in the day. Initially, 2020, all the way up until 2022, it was like what Nvidia is now. Everyone pays attention. Everyone's looking. Oh, Tesla's up today. Tesla's down today. Like nobody cares about Tesla anymore. Which is unfortunate because I think it's like one of my biggest positions. But
do you close the trades out, or are you just like
no, this is for long term. No, I don't trade equity. I don't trade equities.
Okay.
Yeah, like long term buy and hold, which is obviously not financial advice for anyone in the chat, to be clear. That does not mean, obviously it's selling off extremely hard right now. So not financial advice, but yeah, I mean, I've had it for a really long time. So, and I'm still long-term very bullish on it, but again, not financial advice.
There we go. Looks like it's going to take the IB low. Probably I can take this off because I don't think it's going to. I don't think it's going to come back.
It's your entry.
I can imagine. Yeah.
What do you think about the ES shorts? Maybe a slower move.
I may be tempted because it's what I did yesterday.
Bone. Yeah. Because the other thing is,
sharp.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is.
Yeah. NQ was the move.
Yeah, for sure.
Look at that though, like beautiful bounce off that IB25.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Oh, I saw you on PFM a lot ago. Oh, nice. How many micros are you trading with Dan? It depends. It's kind of like, for me, I'm just looking, I am very, very simple, mate, where I'm just looking to, let me get my risk calculator up here. So basically, I'm just looking to risk around about $300. That's what I'm doing. So for today, 1 micro is $322. So if I was going short today, that would have been my trade. 1 micro down to the IB low there. So that's how I sort of do it. Just keep it very simple. But I think
show you something now.
Look at this. Oh, IB25, you were mine today. too busy chatting away. But then also
sometimes I think that same thing. I'm like, maybe if I just didn't talk as much, I could be taking these trades the way that I wanted to.
Yeah. I tell you what though, ES, look at ES though now. Because the stats, when the NQ low is taken, chances of the low being taken on ES are quite strong as well. It's just very choppy.
Using edgeful AI, I'm curious now. I want to know how often ES and NQ break the same side of the IB. Look at that.
Yeah, crazy, right?
NQ already broke it. ES is making its way down.
Looks like it's going to take it as well. I'm tempted by a short here on ES. Just play that stat.
Yeah. I mean, if we get a pop back to the 50 area, to this like 74.44, I would probably take it, to be honest.
Yeah.
With like
you may get it, to be fair.
Above the 75, yeah.
You may get it. You may get it. With the IB 75, I do like to, if I'm going to take it, I like to see how it responds there first. Too many times have I taken an IB 75 trade where it just wicks it and then bounces back higher. So I'll wait here. That's a strong edgeful start though. It's where the API is awesome, isn't it?
Yeah. I just don't know if we're gonna get that bounce that I want. This is where you can't chase it. And this is the part that sucks, because if you chase it now and you enter, now your stop has to be where? You can't set your stop at the 50. You can, but you really can, but you just gotta be, every time I chase it, every time I do some like clown behavior, it always ends up biting me. But I'll take it if it gets this 45, 74, 45.
See, I'll take the IB 75 if it comes back lower here. I may take that.
The IB 75? Hold on, let me pull up the screen.
Yeah, sure. Something like that. So I am very much like big stop.
Oh, you have a stop order.
I'll change this to a for me, I'll probably let it come a bit lower and then pop back into my limit order. So I wouldn't take a stop.
Oh, so you want to put it from a lower price.
Yeah, like I like to enter here.
Got it.
So I'm tempted here.
Wow. I have my order set. The thing is, for me, like, the more this continues down, the more that this continues down, the less interested I'm going to be in the trade if it pops back up to my entry.
Yeah, I'm in here, by the way. I'm in. So we'll see how we do here.
And what's really nice too is that the IB low on NQ is at 28,300, that round psychological number. So that helps. That's short. I mean, obviously I have no data to back that, but
love a little flash
just
lower here.
Smashed.
What's NQ doing?
It just keeps getting like stuffed. Like no matter what, it just keeps getting stuffed. And if Apple loses steam, I think the whole day is going to roll over. It's the only thing that's like trending up right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Apple loses steam at this point, I think the whole day is going to roll. It's just about like,
come on, flush lower, flush lower.
I think we're gonna we're going to get it. The RTY is falling. YM is falling. Like YM is about to make a new low of day. It's going to break the IB low. Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Hopefully NQ just keeps going low and it'll just drag ES with it.
Yeah. I mean, if I genuinely think that if Apple starts to roll over, it's gone.
Yeah. Agreed.
I mean, it's spent the last 30 minutes consolidating at 329, between 329 and 330. The steam seems to be like, if you let me just pull up my screen 1 sec. Like if you look at this, like the steam here, perhaps can be dying out, which I would not be surprised if we get like a totally normal pullback into 328, 327 on like $2 down, especially as price is kind of like stalling out in this 329, 330 area, which I mean, you're getting your move here.
Yep, getting it.
Yeah, I'm not getting my fill here, which sucks.
Come on.
I just canceled my order here, but I don't know. I got a little bit greedy with the entry on NQ back into that orb low, back into that. If you guys rewind, I was saying I wanted that orb low, which is that 460 to that 485 area. I wanted to enter short, didn't quite get it, got the move down, and then now same thing goes here. I wanted that 74.45 on ES, didn't get it, and then that reversal down, which is part of the deal.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I also, one of my biggest struggles is that perfectionist entry. Dude, it's like the worst.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
That's why I like entering at levels for me. It's just it kind of takes the decision away from me as such. It's kind of like, yeah, you know, look at that. Oh, don't reverse on me now. Oof. Oh, look at that for reversal, huh? How far are we away from TP? Like a
few
point?
Points. Point and a half. But you hold, don't you? Wait, why do you, I forget, why do you have your profit target below the IB low?
I don't. I probably like would close it manually, maybe like here, something like that.
Is that just in case you get a flush and you can grab a few more?
Just in case I get a flush, and it's a little bit less risk than the $300 risk. So I think it's like 228 risks, something like that. Okay. So I'll let it just run a little bit past the IB low if it wants to get there. So we'll see. May not though. May just reverse right back up. I mean, it's one of those where you look at it.
I think that was like probably a good fake out, which is going to continue lower now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're back at low of day.
Whoa, look at that.
Your screen looks pretty delayed, to be honest.
Delayed?
Like, I don't know. I'm looking at my. Not actually, but like it's just.
You
like,
tell me if I'm winning then.
Slow.
Okay. Okay. Just let me know. Let me know.
You're fine. You're fine.
Okay.
It's not your internet. It's just TradingView is just on the slower side. But I think you have that confirmation here. If it makes you feel any better, which again, I'm not trying to like keep you in or take you out of a trade, but that 86%.
Yeah.
And NQ breaks the low. ES breaks.
That's why I'm in. That's why I'm in. It is that stat. It's that stat. And it's one of those where if I lose an 86% stat, then fine. You know.
Yeah.
It's one of those. So.
Yeah. So.
Come on. Now, what are you doing? Look at this.
Yeah. Total same direction days. 86%.
Let's have a look at NQ. Yeah, I could just do with NQ just flushing a little bit lower here.
I would not be like too surprised if we retest this 300 and then go flush down on NQ. Honestly.
Yeah.
But
Oof.
Is there a
Wow. Wow. Look at that for reversal.
Wow, is there a headline right now? I'm gonna.
Wow. Oof. Let's see what it does here, the IB50, if it does get there.
I mean, this is tempting me to take the short now.
Yeah, of course.
The problem is I'm concerned about these headlines, man. Like if this is a normal bounce, okay, I'll take it. But if not, like I just don't. I'm looking at like two different news sources. I don't see anything.
Yeah. Oof, that is a reversal and a half. We are 1 point away from the ES
I can't believe that,
low here. Wow, look at that.
I can't believe that.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Dude, I can't find any news.
It's just a casual reversal. Jeez.
Walter Bloomberg, nothing. Financial Juice, nothing. I guess it's just normal.
Well, I may have to take the loss here on this one.
Is it because is it the VWAPs that you're worried about?
Yeah, the VWAPs, yeah. It's just slicing through those.
Wow.
Wow, look at that. Wow.
So you're waiting for the candle close now?
Well, I may not. I may just cut it. Yeah, I may just cut it. Because it's just, that's a very, very aggressive move. I want to see how it reacts here, the daily VWAP, but I think.
Wow, dude.
Yeah, I
cannot believe there's not a catalyst.
I've cut it because that's just crazy. It's a crazy move.
I mean, Google bounced, but like,
wow.
Apple's pushing to 300 to 330, but I mean, still.
Wow. I have to take the loss on the chin there. Look at that. I think it's going to take the IB high.
I'm in shock, to be honest.
Yeah, NQ today, I missed that one. So that's why I'm going to have to take that one on the chin there. But yes, I was just playing a strong stat on the IB75 and just got absolutely smoked on that. 1 point away from...
I know,
from stop,
That's
one of those. Yeah, it's one of those where I think, honestly, if I look at it, you could go, yeah, it's a little bit choppy.
But
could argue that.
I mean, I still don't think that's a bad. This is
I was 1 point away, wasn't I? So
yeah, it makes me want to try the short now, dude.
Oh, look at that bounce. No.
I don't know, man. I feel like this NQ, the problem is on NQ, I would want to take the short for a new low of day, but I'm just not super confident in it.
Yeah. Look at that. Oof. Be interesting to see how it reacts to the VWAP. So I'm not willing to hold it all the way through.
Do you ever take a second entry or no?
I try not to.
Yeah.
I'm mostly one trade a day, but there are rare occasions where I'll take a second one. Like if it came back lower here to the IB75, would I get? Don't know. Just because it is choppy already. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, dude, these moves up and down. I'm searching for something. I'm searching for because I mean, in these markets, like a move like that is unfortunately not unheard of, but. I don't know. Yeah,
I think it is going to take the two. It's going to take the IB higher. I think
it looks like.
So what was the stat? It was like 86% chance it was going to take the IB high. Oh, it's IB low. Same as NQ. Yeah, and it's just reversed massively. It's crazy. but it may here. It may just reverse off these VWAPs.
I just took the short on NQ at 54.
Nice.
My stop is up above 82, 83. I mean, I could just get torched. This is definitely a higher risk trade because my stop is pretty tight right now. But if this just flies up, like, I'll obviously just eat the loss. But if we get IB low, that would be great. If not, it's fine. And it looks like I'm about to get stopped out here. Like, wow, ES is really doing something here. I moved my stop to 85, hoping to leave it a little bit of room. But I mean, if it reclaims this IB25, I'm not like super confident in this, dude. ES is lying.
It's just ripped, isn't it? Just absolutely ripped. Yeah, that's unfortunate.
I'm gonna probably get tapped out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like 5-10 points away from my stop right now.
You said before. You know what? This comment here, that's a really fair point. No real trend today on ES, VWAPs all flat. Yeah, to be fair. That's probably something I'll put in my journal at the end of today. Just VWAPs flat.
Yeah.
You know, VWAPs were telling the story as well. But I just fancied that stat. It's one of those where I can't be too upset with that.
Yeah, no. I mean, it was a good trade no matter what. Like, it's the same thing I tell people all the time when it relates to like sports. Like, Steph Curry is a 90% free throw shooter, but you don't put your net worth on him making the next free throw. You put small controlled bets over the next few games of his free throws being 9 out of 10, but you never know if he's going to make the next one. And that's exactly what you did here. You controlled your risk. You took the trade. You took a good setup, and it didn't obviously didn't work, but like that's totally fine.
The lower risk as well allowed me just to hold the trade a little bit longer. Because usually I'd cut it maybe around about IB50, New York VWAP. Because I think someone put a comment saying would have got out earlier, and that's a fair point. But I had lower.
I just got stopped
on this one. Got stopped out as well. There we go. Yeah, I'm
not gonna lie, I don't believe that there's not a catalyst or like something happening or something is about to happen. That is just a
crazy move. That is a crazy move. It's one of those where it's like like I said, I think I'll look back at this and go, the IB25 NQ short was the trade today for sure. Missed that, but playing that stat, 86% stat where one breaks the low, the other breaks the low as well. That's a trade that's actually been working well for me. In fact, it was my Wednesday trade. My Wednesday win was exactly that. It was exactly that where NQ would, so.
That's the trade. I mean, that's the trade. Like that's the 86%.
Yeah.
I mean, we're also 1 point off, like 1.5 points off on, that's insane. And just so you guys can see, this was what I was looking for. Yeah, I move up, to pull down, move back up, got short on this candle here, stop above the IB25, hoping for that continuation down. And was actually in decent profit for a little bit, but then got torched.
Yeah, same here. But I was really decent profit. Really decent. But there we go. But it's one of those. I think I'll probably be around about break even on the week. Maybe just a little bit green on the week. I'll have to check the numbers afterwards. But
I mean, there has to be a NVIDIA headline. I mean,
yeah. That's a crazy move. When I see it move like that, it kind of just, I look at it and just go, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. It's one of those. Especially when it gets so close to the IB low like that as well. And this comment here is exactly what it is all about. Right? I will not be on a Friday, like end of week, be on these charts, trying to take numerous trades, trying to make it back because I can't get my big boy pants on and take a loss like a man, right? It's true though, isn't it? It's kind of like, it's if you can't take a loss and you're And trust me, I speak from experience here. If you can't take a loss and you start clicking buttons, and it's one of those things where you are never going to make it.
Yeah.
As a trader, you will never be a profitable trader. You are never going to take payouts. I think there's two things that, because everybody talks about the winning trades, and the winning trades are obviously important, but I think there's two key things that are important for you to take payouts. And I think number one, you have to be able to walk away when you've lost. If it's a day where you were very wrong, and I was very wrong today. I thought it was going to go towards the IB low. I played an 86% stat, and ES has gone, no thank you, mate, and smashed through my my VWAPs, my beloved VWAPs, and it's kept going higher and higher and higher. I think that's one thing. You got to be able to walk away from that. And I think as well, another thing as well is being able to not take a trade as well. And I think that's where it's one of those, I'm conflicted today, because one part of me says shouldn't have entered in this because it's choppy, but a part of me also says the edgeful data was strong as well. If that broke the IB low today and I wasn't in that trade, I'd be going, why am I not in a trade that has an 86% stat and has been winning for me recently? Why am I not in that? Do you know what I mean? And that 100% would eat at me. So I think it's just, I've got the data, I've got the previous trades sort of back up that sort of entry, and I've taken it and it's not worked. And you got to be okay with that. And I think I talk about trading superpowers all the time. I think that is a genuine trading superpower, to be able to take a loss, take it like a man, walk away, and have a good weekend. Do you know what I mean? And that's what it's all about. And then just come back Monday and just be ready to go again, and just focus on, you're not going to be perfect. I mean, good news for you as a trader is you don't have to be perfect. You need to be excellent as a trader. You have to be excellent. But excellence is not perfection. You are not going to be perfect, but you can be excellent. And excellence is being consistent. That's the key thing. Excellence is in the consistency, not in the perfection. Yeah, I'm not perfect today. I've not been perfect this month, in all honesty. Since going full-time as a trader, I have been imperfect this month. But I look at my TradeZella data all the time, and I remind myself, oh, I've come a long way. And this month or so, in fact, let me show before we finish today. Let me show.
Yeah, pull up your
this is So if you look at this, look at my sort of P&L curve for the year, 20K payout. Oh, thought I was bigger than the market, got smashed, recovered some composure, consistency. And then this month, you look at it, when is this? This is now, I've been in chop since June. So my P&L curve since middle of June has been chop. Yeah. Is that room for me to panic? No. Am I taking my loss today and am I going to panic? No. Was today a pivot trade for me? No, but that's okay. We come back Monday and we try and take those consistent setups and try and be better again. That's got to be the focus all the time. And that's why I think using the edgeful data is important, but tracking your own data also equally important.
Without a doubt. Well,
oh, I am so sorry. I said big boy pants on, big boy and big woman pants on. My apologies. Of course, you have every right to pull me up on that.
All right, so this was a good stream. We are up on time here. I appreciate all of you. Dan, thank you as always.
No, cheers, man. Appreciate it.
I'm going to wrap this up here. Have a good one, guys. Have a good weekend.
See you guys.